Hey everybody, welcome back to Zippy Industries. Today, what are we doing? We're gonna make some Z-bars for our Born Free Texas 4 build here, our slab side shovel. You have these bars on here. Quite honestly, they work, but not really. So we put our narrow glide front end on here and we need something different. So got some stainless here. This is 1 inch diameter, 120 wall. So we're gonna attempt to make some Z-bars. First thing I want to do is make it out of steel though. I have some DOM and honestly we're probably gonna put it on the Sporty because why not? So yeah, let's get to it. The DOM is a lot cheaper than that stainless. The stainless for one stick is 12 feet. It took like a week to get here and it was like 212 bucks. So DOM is like $50. So we'll fuck that up first. So let's get to it. Damn it. So first things first, we got to figure out how wide we want these to be. So I would like for it to stay inside of here, right? So ideally, probably from center to center. So around 7 inches, right? That'll give us our uprights here, all right? Which will keep it kind of tight. So then we'll have the trees outside and then our tank outside that. So it should look pretty nice. And if not, then we'll build new ones. So let's cut some metal. All right, we got a piece in here. This is roughly 8 inches. All right, so we're gonna cut this and then we'll put it up there and see how it looks, and we can always shorten it. So got our little Bailey horizontal bandsaw in, just got this thing. You see it's already a mess because I used it to cut this piece off of the big ass 7-inch diameter piece I had, and that little guy wasn't going to cut it. So we've been needing one of these for a while. The old Milwaukee works great, but it's not the most accurate, and to be perfectly honest, I probably put like 20 blades on that thing because it's not robust. Like, it's not going to hold up. So this will work for what we have going on. So let's get going. All right, so got our next cut in here. You have our 45 back there. So how I squared this up was just put my square on the top and then rotated the piece until it lined up. All right, so it locked in. All right, so should be right where we need it. So let's cut this. All right, so we got our bottom bar cut. So I didn't think about this until after I'd already cut this. I was trying to use a square and use the top of the clamp to square up my end, and then I was like, I have 1-inch square stock. So I had this aluminum. I already had this sitting around actually that was 45, so it works out. I had to sand the top and bottom because it's a little bit too wide, but now I can just clock it, right? So I don't have to do all this stupid shit with a square. I just put it in there, butt it up, and now I know that I'm at a 45. And clamp it where I want it, and off we go. The things you think about afterwards. But this should help us with our stainless, right? So we can have nice 45 miters, and also we still have to do the uprights. So we'll use this there. Hopefully we'll have enough length here for our uprights, because as you see the clamp is kind of whatever. So let's build the rest. All right, so got a bottom bar on. Now we got to decide how far we want these to come up and then back. All right, so it's probably gonna be something like this, maybe like this. I don't know. Those rabbits are kind of a pain in the ass, just because how narrow they are, but something probably along here. I don't want to go super tall, all right, because I don't want it to look ridiculous, which we'll see. But we got the little short guys here. Just put these together ish. Probably need to go taller than that. All right. Right now it's sitting in line, so they're probably going to go somewhere in this realm. Probably in here somewhere. We might put them back at the angle. I don't know. We'll see. This would be the most comfortable to ride it. but you know, Z-bars, they're usually kind of straight up. So we'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna cut some stuff. So I was gonna use Scotch Spray on this to clean this up, and I remembered I finally bought a tubing polisher. All right, because we have all this stainless, all the pie cuts, 4,000 pieces, and our frame, right? So we're gonna need to do metal finish all those welds and everything else on there. So I figured it was finally time to buy that. It's a Blue Rock. I bought it from Blue Rock. I was gonna go on Amazon and ended up on their website and bought it from them. So so far it's done really well. I've only used it a couple times, so, but it does come with a shit ton of belts, so that's good. Anyway, let's cut some pieces and see. I'll put different heights. So I'll probably do like a shorter one over here and then a taller one, and then compare it and see what height we're actually going to go with. Probably going to be around the 4-inch mark or so, probably. All right, because I like the height of these, which these are probably these are around 6-ish. So we might go 6, right? That'll get us up. Yeah, we're gonna go with 6. I like that better. So let's cut some shit. All right, so I think we figured it out. So 6-inch rise, right? And it's about 30 degrees of pullback, all right? So should get us a little out there, right? I am going to run internal throttle on this, so this side can be extended even further if we need to. But as far as lengthwise, like, I think that's pretty good. Fits pretty well. It's nice and tight. So we'll make the other side. So I'll show you how I did this. So this was kind of a pain in the butt. Let me set you all up. And if anybody wants to, can recommend a stool that doesn't suck, not a Viper chair, because I'm not spending $600. Unless you want to send me one, Viper, I'll happily take one. This thing likes to bleed off on this damn hydraulic ram, and it's usually while I'm welding, and yeah, I need something better. So if y'all have any recommendations, let me know. But, all right. This is definitely a two-hand job here, so it's actually like a two-person, well, it's not really a two-person job, but all right. So here's how I did this, and this one will be different because we're going to need to go the opposite direction. So it's going to have to be negative 30 degrees. All right, well, actually it'll just be 30 degrees the opposite direction. So put our handy dandy angle finder on here, which just took all the damn filings. All right, and then simply turn it. You gotta straighten it back up after you get to a certain part, because it gets a little out of whack when it gets on its side and stuff. All right, that'll give us a starting point, and then we gotta get our length. All right, so I want these to be exactly the same. So we'll set her up. Make us a line. Now that on the same plane. So now the bottoms will touch. I can use my angle finder to get me up against it. All right. And then that's our line here. All right, so now I just need to pull this back to where we are in line with our blade, and we will be ready to cut this bad boy. There we go. All right, let's cut it. All right, we got our uprights here, got one handle. I need to cut another one. We're gonna cut that one a little longer. This one is almost 7 inches. 7.5. All right, so we're gonna cut that one at 9. That way it gives us a little wiggle room. We can cut them down later on if we need to, because we are going to run the internal throttle on the right side, so that one can go like 4 inches longer if we really need to, but I don't see us going out that far. So let's cut our other piece and start putting this together. All right, we got all our pieces here. I'm missing one. Where'd it go? There it is. Now we have all the pieces. I'm gonna leave the center bar on here so I don't get them messed up, because I do occasionally put the wrong thing together. So yeah, we're gonna put a bevel on this. I'm gonna use this Walter Flex Cut. So it's supposed to be aluminum, stainless steel, whatever, but it's got this weird pattern. It's 36 grit, so why not? We're gonna try it out. I like to try new stuff. It was like 10 bucks. No, it was 13. I don't know. Anyway, I saw it at the welding shop. 36 grit, so we're gonna try it out. But we're gonna put a nice bevel on here so we can get good penetration on this whole thing, give us a nice weld, and then we'll fit it up and weld her up. All right, there we have it, all tacked together. Now these are mild steel, these are not stainless yet. All right, so these are still our trowel run bars. All right, so we got a nice bevel in here, got a good tack. All right, they were kind of fighting me a little bit. I think we are going to go with this length, the 9 inches. Obviously our internal throttle is going to go over here, so this will probably still get cut off some more, but I think that's going to do it. Looks pretty good. A little tighter than the camera died. Anyway, so I think we're going to go with this, right? So the 9-inch length, and this guy will get shortened up. Right now they are in line with our forks. Might kick them forward just a smidge, but we'll see. So yeah, I think that's going to do it. I like those a lot better. So I might make another set and make these a little bit taller, go up to like, I don't know, maybe 8 inches or so, and see how those look. These are really tiny bars, but they are comfortable, right? So sitting on here, right, so this would be about where foot's going to go and whatnot, and you know, good arm. It still has an arm bit in it, and I'm sitting mostly upright, so I think these will be just fine. And I still have some leverage, unlike my rabbit ears, which don't. Yeah, so might build a set of these for the Sporty as well. And I need to mount this thing because I keep kicking it off. So anyway, now I gotta make them out of stainless, but that's gonna do it for now. So stay tuned. Probably I'm gonna put some of these on the site. They'll be made to order. So if you want some, hit up zippyindustries.com. So stainless bars, as you saw, were kind of a pain in the ass. All right, they're a little tweaked, honestly, because they've been a nightmare. A little bit. Ow, that's hot. Mainly because they don't like me. There is weld built up, so once we grind that down, we'll see what they actually look like. But I'm gonna tweak them. Apparently I missed a weld. Damn it, I thought I got it all. All right, so gotta fix that. But looks like the rest are pretty good. Got a little hot out there on the end. It's all right, we're gonna blend it all down and sand it anyway, so polish it out. Should have enough filler in here. Looks like it might be a little low, so we'll hit that spot there. The old ferret cup doing its job, and the big daddy bottle over there. So let's blend it all out. All right, got them on the bike, and for the most part, they're good to go. All right, so you need to do a little bit more metal finishing here. This is up to 220 with our DA. So need to do a little bit more work. I want these to be a little more crisp, kind of like this guy, right? It's got a nice edge, which when they go to polish it, it's probably gonna lose that edge, but if we could not, that'd be great. So anyway, but a lot better than our narrower ones out there, but that's gonna do it. If you all are interested in these, I'm thinking about making a few sets and putting them on the website. So just let me know, and we'll go from there. Appreciate you all. That's it for now. Take care.